A Florida man, while wearing Batman pajamas, awoke in the middle of the night and stopped a burglary. The news headline could have read, "Batman stops a robin." Major League Baseball recently approved using an automated ball strike system beginning in 2026. The hope is these robo-umpires will be more consistent calling games. That's fine and all, but I think your dad yelling from his sofa chair is doing just fine. He's maybe even more accurate, he says. It was announced that The Simpsons 2 will hit theaters in 2027, and in doing so, bumped a Marvel film from releasing at that time in Disney's movie lineup. Who would have thought that the Avengers' most formidable villain was Homer Simpson? An assistant teacher in South Carolina was suspected of releasing a substance in the classroom described as fart spray. That's not even the joke. When confronted about it, the teacher responded, "Whoever smelt it dealt it." To which the school officials responded, "Whoever denied it supplied it." Either way, they are all in some deep spray. A Humpty Dumpty statue was stolen from a mini golf course in New Jersey. Luckily, the statue was found. Unfortunately, all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Flights are being delayed at some U.S. airports due in part to a shortage of air traffic controllers. I don't know if you've heard about this. It's not looking good. Because the last thing you want is an overworked air traffic controller to start using the water slide attendant approach to takeoff. Where they just go like, "You're good. You're good." We don't want that. A woman in Missouri was home for a week with an illness. When she was finally able to leave the house, she bought a lottery ticket and won $100,000. It was determined that the woman had a severe case of luckyitis. Here we go, a story from the Netherlands. Researchers went to a music festival and brought mosquitoes with them to study why some people get bitten more than others. I can tell you exactly why those people got bit more. Because you brought mosquitoes with you. A family in Texas for over a century have had only boys born into the family. That streak ended recently when they found out they were expecting a baby girl. The girl's future boyfriend was described as terrified. A home security camera recorded footage of a family's cat dropping a mouse into the dinner that was cooking on the stove. Coming to a theater near you, Revenge on Ratatouille. I know, sorry. A highway in Illinois experienced some temporary closures due to an overturned semi-truck that was carrying applesauce and spilt all over the highway. Babies and the elderly alike were furious. A bear in Arizona walked into a grocery store, wandered around, and ran out after a few minutes. The bear took one look at grocery prices and said, "I'm out of here." I think eggs are a little better now. Things are going, trending in the right direction, hopefully. 3 nuns, you guys hear about this one? 3 nuns, all in their 80s, fled from the retirement home they were placed at and went back to their former convent. I can see the movie poster now. Sister Act 3, Walkers Unleashed. Apparently, beauty pageants for water buffaloes in Thailand has become a thing now. Can you imagine that? One male spectator exclaimed, "What a cow," before being forcefully slapped by his wife, of course. Yeah. Context, you gotta. A strongman competitor in Egypt attempted an interesting feat of strength recently by pulling a ship with his teeth. If that isn't a marketing opportunity for denture glue, I don't know what is. You guys have heard of book drops, right? Like neighborhood community book drops where you can go and like get a book, or you take books there, kind of a book exchange. Okay. Well, apparently in Cambridge, Massachusetts, there's what's called a dog library, and it encourages owners to take a stick, leave a stick. Kind of that same notion, right? I think that's pretty interesting. I think that'll go over better than the cat library nearby. The sign says, "Take a rat, leave a rat." Not many participants for that one. A hair museum announced recently that it would be closing its doors. This museum displays pieces of hair from politicians and celebrities. I know, hard to believe, right? Even more surprising, just down the street, the Toenail Clippings Museum is seeing record attendance. A man in the UK survived some serious injuries, including a broken neck, fractured spine, and smashed ribs after tripping over his cat. Cats, using their 9 lives to ruin yours. A police officer in California stopped a vehicle after recognizing the license plate just didn't seem quite right. Turns out the license plate was missing and the driver had hand-drawn a replica. We actually were able to get a copy of the driver's license. So if you see this person, call local authorities. Let's see here. And finally, an Alabama man set a world record recently with a more than 3.5-foot long beard. Unfortunately, his other life goal will be unfulfilled: donating it to the Hair Museum.